So our next speaker on Sustainability Dialogues is Mr. Swami Prem Parivartan. He is the Peepal Baba, the tree man of India, and environmentalist. He has done such amazing work, and it's going to be my pleasure to hear him speaking. And I'm sure if you have any questions, you can ask him right there.
Thank you, Swami Prem Parivartanji, for being the savior of trees, for being the initiator of planting trees. We look forward to your journey. And please tell us, how did the idea come? I've already said your English teacher. Tell us where you are right now, what you are doing, and what would you like to say to our viewers and readers on the World Environment Day?
Good afternoon, everybody. People know me as Swami Parivartan, but globally, locally, in India, abroad, everybody knows me as Peepal Baba. So I think if you just address me as Peepal Baba, it will be more. It will be better because it's easier for people to trace me then. Right. So if you go on Google, it's easy to track me down. One very important thing, environment is a very big subject. It's a huge subject. And I think one thing that needs to change, this is something I would like to begin with, and then I'll come to from where you had asked me, that it's become a big cliche that, we will save environment, we will save the climate, we will save the rivers, we will save the oceans, we will save the Himalayas. Human beings, the whole effort is so minuscule that I don't think so human beings can save anything. The only thing that we people and all of us, you, me, the society, government at large, the authorities, the people who are subject matter experts, the best we can do is just contribute to the goodness of things. We can only contribute to the goodness of things, and we can hope for the best. Because anything that happens, whether it is flooding, it is a cyclone, it is a super cyclone, it is coronavirus, it is a locust swarm coming in, it is big.
So you'll have to unmute yourself, Swami. You'll have to unmute. Yes, now it's okay. We lost you for 3-4 seconds.
Okay. So,
you were saying whatever it is about goodness.
It's a natural phenomenon. It's a natural phenomenon. We need to understand, even when we get into environment, it is more of a organic. It is so well connected to the entire life of the life of Homo sapiens. Please remember one thing. When planet was created, when God created planet, or the consciousness, the ultimate intelligence, when it created this planet, the first thing, the living planet started 400 million years ago. It came with plants, it came with fish, it came with amoeba, it came with microbes, it came with fungi, it came with bacteria, it came with a lot of other life forms, and especially the trees, because the chlorophyll, the photosynthesis, this gave out the prana urja. Prana urja means the oxygen, right? So it is they who started the planet. It is they who have been, who were responsible for destruction and restoration, various ice ages, various ages that came. So all that I'm trying to say is that first of all, we have to be very humble. We need to understand this thing, that Homo sapien race is just a very minuscule part of the entire natural phenomena that rules the planet. Okay? And we were the last species to take birth. We have been here. If you see the last skulls that were discovered from Java or from Indonesia, so our life is just about 40,000 years old or 60,000 years old. And the trees and the plants and the vegetation and the oceans and the planktons and everything has been for 400 million years old. Now, having said this, this is something, at the age of 11, when I was studying in Spices Memorial School in Pune, my class teacher, who used to teach us English and social studies, Mrs. Williams, she she imbibed these little tenets in us. She started seeding us with these thoughts, and she started the fundamentals and the basics of environment. She started talking about them in a story format. And she used to tell us a lot of stories. She would talk about dinosaurs and talking birds and everything. And the most beautiful part of it was that most of us in the class were so enamored by whatever she said that most of the boys, that's a different story, that after a year or so, not many people sustained that thing. And I kept planting and I kept doing whatever she told us. She used to say a very beautiful thing. She says, पेड़ों से कहानी शुरू होती है, पेड़ों पे खत्म होती है. पेड़ों से कहानी शुरू होती है, पेड़ों पे खत्म होती है. So she would summarize the entire dialogue on biodiversity, climate change, on the entire narrative on environment. She would put a very simple communication to the whole thing, and that is work on the tree count. Work on the tree count. And she would always say that जैसे कि बच्चे को एग्जाम में पास होने के लिए 40% नंबर चाहिए होते हैं, 40% marks are required. Some of the boards required only 33%. So she would always say 40% of the planet should be under tree cover. 40% of the planet should be under tree cover, should be under permanent vegetation. Only then Homo sapien race can survive. Because Homo sapien race, of us, the human race, we are dependent on so many other species for even our basic survival. I'm sure there are a lot of experts sitting out there listening to us. They also know that if just the bees and butterflies go out of circulation, birds, bees and butterflies go out of circulation. So I was reading a research paper where it said that it would take only 4 months for the entire population of 7.5 billion on the planet to be heading towards a total catastrophe, a total annihilation, a total elimination. Now, even the coronavirus, if we talk in this context, it is basically jal or jungle ki ek jang hai. There was a habitat for them. There was a habitat. We may call them bats, we may call them monkeys, we may call them rats, we may call them insects. There was a certain habitat for the coronavirus. But we upset that. We means we as a Homo sapien race, because of our development, the efforts that we do in so-called development and infrastructure development. So we cut down these forests. We have reduced the tree cover. We have reduced the canopy cover because everything depends on trees. Everything depends on the green canopy. Your water, your hydrology, your ecosystems, your wellness, your temperature, your well-being, even the kind of chemistry that goes on in our body, in our brain, our spiritual conditioning, feeling good, feeling better, that feel-good factor, everything comes from nature. It all comes from nature. That is why whenever we have time, whenever we want to take a vacation, the first place we head towards are the hill stations. Why do we go to the hill station? Because there are trees, because the temperature is less, because there is silence, because there is nature. So having said this, so when we used to walk into the teacher's room and used to ask a teacher that, ma'am, you keep telling us all these stories and then you keep telling us that the future is not bright for the Homo sapien race. What exactly do you mean? You know what she used to say? If you can just roll back and you can just see my TED talk 3 years ago, I had quoted Mrs. Williams in that TED talk, my first TED talk, and she used to say, the elimination of Homo sapien race will begin in 2020. And when this coronavirus came, let me tell you, I had goosebumps because Mrs. Williams was spot on, was absolutely right. You know what, Mrs. Williams, she came from Sri Lanka. She was a missionary. She was one of the Christian missionaries who was working, and she would talk to animals. She could talk to birds. She was a dog whisperer. She could talk to birds. She would make some sounds and she would whistle. And हमारे Spicer Memorial School के जो birds होती, they would come and sit on her shoulder. She was something very different. She was something very special, you know. And she was almost like Nostradamus. And she told us all these things, that between 2020 and 2030, 70% of the population of the planet will be eliminated. Because this is the kind of balance nature will restore. So when I see these things, I don't see it as a health problem. I don't see it as a vaccination issue. I think people who have done good, people who have lived with nature, people who are living far away from technology, far away from metropolises, they are living in isolated places. Even today, I am standing in a village called Rahimabad on the outskirts of Lucknow, and we are creating a wetland area over here, over 15 acres of land. We are setting up a biodiversity park for the Uttar Pradesh government under a CSR project of HCL Foundation. And let me tell you, the people over here, they don't even know what coronavirus is. They don't even know what bimari is. They don't even know what thing. Okay, just because they hear the health protocols being repeated on television, so they will wear a mask, you know. But everybody is healthy over here for miles together, for kilometers together. There is no disease.
You'll have to unmute yourself. You'll have to unmute yourself. Peepal Babaji, you'll have to unmute yourself. It's got muted. Anji. It's fine now. We lost the last 10 seconds. Last 10 seconds. You were saying people don't even know bimari hai. They don't even know corona hai. You said in the villages
Anji.
Where you are, people don't know what,
yes.
You know, corona is, what bimari is. That's what you were saying.
When I started planting at the age of 11, I started planting saplings. On the first day, on 26th of January, I planted 9 saplings on Range Hills Road in Kirki Military Station in Pune. All the 9 trees are still there. The saplings have grown into massive trees. And of course, most of the trees that in the first 3-4 years, we planted about 16 lakh trees in Pune district and nearby western Maharashtra townships. And of course, then we went to Marathwada, then we went on to, you know, my father being in the army, he was posted to Punjab, then in Jalandhar, then Dehradun, then Dalhousie, then he was posted to Kolkata and Northeast. And I had the good fortune of traveling. The more you travel, the more you understand nature. The more you travel, the more you appreciate environment. The more you travel, the more you understand various cultures and kind of the entire diversity. And most important thing is, हमारा देश जो है कृषि प्रधान देश है. We are an agriculture economy. We need to understand that. You know, it really saddens me. For the past 10 years or so, past 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, I've seen we have become a laptop economy. We're trying to become a digital economy. Yes, it's a good thing. See, change is positive, change is good, and it is healthy. It's needed. It's very much needed. But we should never forget our fundamentals. India is an agrarian economy. We are a very strong superpower in agriculture, and we are not investing in agriculture. When we say agriculture and allied sciences, sir, it includes forestry, it includes tree planting work, it includes afforestation projects which can create millions and millions and millions of jobs under Manrega also. And you know, we are not investing in, we are seeing agriculture only as a food processing industry, setting up a plant and potato chips and kurkure and all that. No. It is so fundamental. It is so fundamental to the entire sustenance of a village life. We should not be talking, We should not be talking about smart cities. We should be talking smart villages. We should be talking smart forests. We should be talking about smart rivers, our river basins, our we spent 70,000 crores, and Namami Gange itself is 20,000 crores. In 1 year we spent just to trying to clean up the Ganga. But nature has just shown that if human intervention is not there, nature can take care of itself. I was in Haridwar when the lockdown started. We were planting trees in district Haridwar at that time, and Gangaji became so sparkling clean. It was so beautiful. I could actually see the riverbed. We could see the stones. We could see. I've never seen. I go to Rishikesh, Haridwar every single year, twice a year, but I've never seen Ganga like this. And just in 2 months' time, it just shows the kind of pollution, the kind of the human intervention, what it can do. Okay, so coming back to, I think our focus needs to be bringing maximum land. एक हरियाली की एक क्रांति आने की जरूरत है. जब आप एक हरियाली की क्रांति की बात करते हैं, we need to bring the urban areas under forestry. We need to be talking about urban gardens. We need to be talking about urban forestry. Because our educated class, the teenagers, the people who are very good with IT, people who are, they are extremely. This is the digital generation which can actually create a difference. Which can create a difference in the coming times. It is not the people like just you and me or the corporate. Okay, now very quickly, I would like to definitely say something about the corporate participation. I was just hearing the previous speaker, and we were talking, and he was asking that what is the role of the government. See, I think, my teacher used to always say one thing: I am the government. We are the government. We will decide what is to be done over here. So we cannot be forever waiting for the government to do some positive action. Government is doing good. Government is doing whatever it can. Government is planning. Government is trying to do whatever it can. But we cannot be waiting for the government to do. It is our life. It is our health. It is our wellness. It is the wellness of the entire nation. So we need to back up our farmers, our agriculture, our social forestry projects, our tree planting projects, our afforestation programs, our rivers, and corporates have the biggest role to play. CSR has the biggest role to play in greening of India, in reviving India, in creating sustainable initiatives. CSR right now, of course, it is like when we also go to the corporates and I just want to say one thing, that we need to understand that trees are the most important components. They are the basic units. They are the basic units for any biodiversity program, for any kind of environmental program, for any kind of anything you ask for, anything you talk about. You talk about river systems, you talk about even agriculture. Even in Japan these days, they say first you need to farm your land, you need to first plant trees so that the bird population comes in. The bird population will give you a natural pest control mechanism. In areas, we were taking reports. So because we have created more than 270 clusters, 270 afforestation sites in the entire country. So we were talking to volunteers even when the locust swarms came in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and some parts of UP. So they were telling that wherever the tree clusters were there, the moment the locusts came in, the birds started flying out from the canopy of the trees, and they started feeding on the locusts. So there is a whole natural mechanism that is in place. But if you cut down the trees, you cut down, you shave off the planet Earth of its forested areas, so then the natural calamities take over, right? Whether it is a tsunami, whether it is a cyclone, ultimately the trees work as windbreakers. When the tsunami struck a few years ago, the tribals of Andaman Nicobar Islands were not affected. Why? They were not affected because there was enough tree cover, and they moved inside the forest, and there was no casualty. So anyway, okay, I'm open to questions because I know this can go on.
So you're making a point there. Complete it, sir.
हाँ, because I'm only saying पेड़ है तो जहान है. लोग कहते हैं ना जान है तो जहान है. मैं कहता हूँ पेड़ है तो जहान है, क्योंकि अब तो जान की भी हमारी कीमत नहीं रही. क्योंकि जान है तो जहान है हम सब जब बोलते हैं तो वो तो सिर्फ एक 70 साल या 80 साल की एक वैल्यू की शेल्फ लाइफ की बात कर रहे हैं. But when we are talking about trees, we are talking 100 years, 200 years, 500 years, 1000 years. Okay, one thing I would like to clarify, that why am I called Peepal Baba? Peepal Baba because my grandmother and my team, moment we go out to people and talk about biodiversity, ecosystems, sustainability, all these heavy words and jargon, you know, the people who are the frontline workers, the people who are actually working on the ground, it doesn't make sense to them. It doesn't make sense to them. So they want to listen to stories. They want to see role models. So what we did was we started talking about the peepal tree. You know, peepal tree has a mythological significance, a spiritual significance, a religious significance, whether people are Buddhists, Jains, Hindus, followers of Krishna, Hanumanji, you know, because the peepal tree is considered to be hosting Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and especially Lord Vishnu, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, we are all Indians. We understand the importance of, we all understand the importance of the peepal tree. But the moment we went to the rural areas, we went to the hinterland, we went to the countryside, and we started talking about the peepal tree to people. The people got interested. They wanted to listen about trees. They wanted to talk about babool. They wanted to talk about neem. They wanted to talk about kachanar. They had their own stories to say. So we created chopal meetings. Chopal meetings means the people ki chopal. So people ki chopal mein kya hua? We went to the villages and we collected people in gram panchayats and we started telling them the importance of trees in agriculture. Trees in agriculture. Now, nobody in the country, even we visit so many agriculture universities in the country, nobody talks about the importance of trees in agriculture. Yes, they will say, okay, you plant eucalyptus, you plant poplar trees. Later, after 6 years, they are being cut and they are being sold in the mandi for economic benefit. Sir, I wish to make a point that everything cannot be judged on terms of commerce. We cannot have everything going by हम हर चीज को प्रॉफिट मोटिव से नहीं कर सकते हैं. सबसे बड़ी बात तो है कि ये प्रूव करता है जो कोरोना वायरस जो हमारे को यहाँ पर आया, the pandemic itself proves that, you know, business is not everything. There is something higher than that. There is something higher than that. सब लोगों को घर पे बिठा के रख दिया. 150 countries were shut down. Even the gods were unemployed for 2.5 months. You know, the temples and the churches and the priests and everybody got unemployed. So this only proves that there is something higher, and we have to respect this consciousness, which is the ultimate intelligence. इसको हम वनस्पति चेतना बोलते हैं. वनस्पति चेतना.
I love that.
वनस्पति चेतना. जो वनस्पति चेतना है सर, ये 400 मिलियन ईयर से हमें चला रही है. ये वनस्पति चेतना हमें चला रही है. ये जो मनुष्य की चेतना है, जो हमारी अपनी कॉन्शियसनेस है, जो ह्यूमन कॉन्शियस, इट इज टू नेसेंट, इट इज टू मॉलिक्यूलर, इट इज टू एटॉमिक, इट इज टू स्मॉल, इट इज टू मिनिस्क्यूल, इट इज टू फ्रैक्शनल. It cannot hold the entire planet and the cosmos together. The thing which holds everything together, the puri administration.
Yeah. People, Babaji, there are lots of questions for you. So just can I ask some questions?
So we need to. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
From the audience. There is Arunadev Basu. He's saying, what about bee farming? Can bee farming contribute to environment?
Absolutely. It's a very good thing. People should get into tree farming now. People should get into tree farming. People should get into horticulture. People should get into fruit trees. Yes, that is at least. अच्छा, मैं आपको एक और चीज क्लियर करता हूँ. बहुत लोग हमें बोलते हैं कि अरे आपने तो पेड़ लगाए थे, अब देखिए जैसे हमारी जो टोटल इनपुट सैपलिंग्स की हुई है वो 2,89,00,000 2,89 लाख सैपलिंग्स हमने लगाई। उसमें से जब हमने ऑडिट किया लास्ट ईयर, वी हैड अ पूरा पैन इंडिया काउंट हमने किया था, तो उसमें 2 करोड़ मतलब 20 मिलियन ट्रीज वर स्टैंडिंग, 20 मिलियन ट्रीज वर स्टैंडिंग। इसीलिए हम हमेशा बोलते हैं हमारे पास सिर्फ 2 करोड़ थे। जो ट्री फार्मिंग का है, मैं आपको एक बात बताऊं कि लोगों को हम बोलते हैं कि अगर आप 10 साल के लिए भी पेड़ लगा लेते हो, 6 साल के लिए भी पेड़ लगाते, तो आपने 6 साल तक तो आपने बायोडाइवर्सिटी ऐड की, 6 साल तक आपने बर्ड हैबिटेट क्रिएट किया, 6 से 7 साल तक आप चाहे यूकलिप्टस लगाते हैं, पॉपुलर लगाते हैं, कम से कम उस दौरान के लिए तो फोटोसिंथेसिस हुई, उस दौरान तक तो कम से कम ग्रीनिंग हुई, ऑक्सीजन निकला उसमें से, है ना। तो इतना नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि अगर 100 साल कोई जिएगा सिर्फ तभी हम पेड़ लगाएंगे, ऐसा नहीं होता है। ऐसे तो हमारे आधे पेड़ जो हैं, जो हमने नेशनल हाईवेज पे लगाए थे, हमने स्टेट हाईवेज पे लगाए थे, ओपन लैंड्स पे लगाए थे, जब डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स हुए, हाईवेज का एक्सपेंशन हुआ, एक्सप्रेसवेज बने, तो बहुत सारे पेड़ काटे गए। बट ये सोचना चाहिए कि जब तक वो पेड़ सरवाइव किया तब तक तो उसने एक तब तक सर्व किया ना ह्यूमैनिटी को, है ना। तो ट्री फार्मिंग जो है, हम तो लोगों को एनकरेज करते हैं, हम तो फार्मर्स को बोलते हैं कि जो, एंड लेट मी टेल यू, वो उसका सेशन अलग से कभी या कभी इस चीज पे टॉपिक पे बात होती है। सर, ट्री फार्मिंग इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट बिजनेसेस पीपल कैन डू। ये, this is something we need to, this message needs to go out, and we need to actually tell the farmer, tree farming is one of the best businesses right now in this country. It is a recession proof business, it is a sustainable business, and it is socially and environmentally and ecologically a very, 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 very positive business. So I think I'm 100% for tree farming, and there are various types of tree farming. There is permaculture, there are, ये अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा टॉपिक है। सो कभी
बहुत प्रश्न आ रहे हैं आपके लिए। मोनिका चौधरी पूछना चाहती हैं कि मशरूम कल्टीवेशन कैसे हो, और नितिका सोंखिया पूछना चाहती हैं व्हाट अबाउट बैम्बू फार्मिंग, इट विल गिव रिसोर्सेज एज वेल एज
बैम्बू फार्मिंग, यस सर, बैम्बू फार्मिंग हम महाराष्ट्र में इस वक्त सांगली और बारामती में प्रमोट कर रहे हैं। मशरूम फार्मिंग इज वेरी गुड। मैं तो सभी लोगों से आह्वान करता हूं, ये जो हरियाली की क्रांति की बात करता हूं, मैं एक ही बात सब लोगों को, दिस इज माय प्रेयर टू माय कंट्रीमैन, दैट स्टॉप गेटिंग इनटू आयरन, स्टील। ठीक है, ये मशीन्स, टेक्नोलॉजी, लैपटॉप, डिजिटल, ये तो लाइफ के एक्सेसरीज हैं, ये लाइफ की एक्सेसरीज हैं, दे मेक योर लाइफ बेटर, यू नो। ये कंफर्ट और लग्जरी, जो बेसिक नेसेसिटी है हमारी, जो बेसिक चीजें हैं, फंडामेंटल हैं, वो एग्रीकल्चर एंड अलाइड चीजें हैं। सो एग्रीकल्चर के ऊपर फोकस कीजिए, फार्मिंग पे फोकस कीजिए और सीखिए। देयर आर सो मेनी कोर्सेज ऑनलाइन, और अगर कुछ नहीं है तो आई प्रॉमिस यू वन थिंग फ्रॉम दिस प्लेटफॉर्म, आई प्रॉमिस यू वन थिंग, anybody who comes to us, anybody who comes to me, we will train them in whichever format of greening they would like to, चाहे वो हाउस प्लांट्स हो, चाहे वो माइक्रो ग्रीन्स हो, चाहे वो ट्री फार्मिंग हो, चाहे वो सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री हो, चाहे वो एग्रीकल्चर हो, चाहे वो फिशरीज हो, एनिमल हस्बेंड्री हो। प्लीज मैं आप सब लोगों से रिक्वेस्ट करता हूं कि अपने बिजनेस मॉडल को चेंज कीजिए, बिकॉज द फ्यूचर इज एग्रीकल्चर एंड अलाइड बिजनेसेस एंड नॉट इंडस्ट्री। इंडस्ट्री रहेगी, इंडस्ट्री कर रही है, वो ऑलरेडी वो कर रही है, गवर्नमेंट जो कर रही है उसको करने दो, बट प्लीज लुक एट एग्रीकल्चर, फार्मिंग एज अ sunrise industry for the coming future. And this pandemic has
thank you so much, Peepal Baba. Thank you. At this point, Shri Rajendra Singh ji, who doesn't really need an introduction, ये किसी इंट्रोडक्शन के मोहताज नहीं है, he is the waterman of India, the Magsaysay award winner, और आपकी तरह ये भी एनवायरनमेंट के लिए बहुत पैशनेट है। आप इनसे कुछ पूछना चाहेंगे? आपके लिए 10-15 प्रश्न और हैं, मैं सारे प्रश्न नहीं ले पाऊंगा समय के कारण,
नहीं
आपको भेज दूंगा, बट राजेंद्र सिंह जी has joined us, so you know he's done great work over
yes sir. और राजेंद्र जी को तो मैं बहुत फॉलो करता हूँ, बहुत रिस्पेक्ट करता हूँ। he has been, हम कॉलेज टाइम से इनको फॉलो कर रहे हैं, he has always been my hero. I'm so glad to see him. मेरे पास इनके लिए कोई प्रश्न नहीं है, क्योंकि इनकी प्रेजेंस और इनका दर्शन देते ही मेरे सारे क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स हो जाते हैं। मेरे को कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं इनसे पूछना, इनका काम ही बोलता है, इनका काम जो है इन्होंने the kind of work he has done in Rajasthan and the kind of work, so I think it's commendable. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Peepal Baba. We wish you luck in your mission to plant more trees. And as you said to everyone, that farming is the new sunrise sector. Technology,
Yes,
everything else is accessories. Life is trees. Life is environment. And आपने बोला इसको मैं वनस्पति चेतना कहता हूँ. So I hope we invest in the vanaspati chetna. We wish you luck, and hopefully we'll have more conversations with you more often so that we can learn and implement from what you do. Thank you so much for contributing to the environment and contributing to a beautiful country. We wish you luck, and the questions we couldn't take, I will send it to you one-on-one and connect you to the participants.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.